All right, YouTube, here we go, man. We back with another one, man. Back with another roundtable. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. Y'all already know what time it is with me, man.
Yes, sir. King Juice. Follow me at Twitter. Zero King Juice Zero. So that's the number zero, King Juice Zero. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to either our special guest or JMMA. But y'all already know who gotta go last.
Man, like I said, man, y'all already know what time it is with me. Back with another one. Give it off to Dark, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Darhkseid here. Happy to join the panel with the boys. Talk some boxing, ESBC, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to the man with the best intro in the game.
Yeah, you already know who it is. It's your boy S. V. He need not to worry. Back here with another John.
Let's get into it.
All right, yeah, we back here with another one, man. Y'all already know what time it is, and Tyson Fury, bro, in ESBC, man. That's a bombshell. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, I was completely shocked. I was completely shocked when they announced Tyson Fury because look, a lot of us knew and a lot of us thought that they was up in that entanglement with EA.
Entanglement.
We wasn't even expecting. He wasn't even expecting to get a guy like Tyson Fury in this game. So I was just absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Me too, and for the exact same reasons. And right after it happened, right after it was over, you can actually see my reaction. I said, Anthony Joshua, come on. That's where my mind went immediately. So I was definitely excited, definitely ready to use him and his just awkwardness, his slickness, and especially with his big long frame, he's gonna be tough. ESBC. So
Awesome.
I was excited.
I'm still in shock, like I've been saying for the past 4 days. I don't know how they did it, but keep doing it. I'm speechless. You know what I'm saying? Listen, go give me Mike Tyson, give me AJ, and I'm set. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, man, I like you all guys already said, man. I saw this big, long, lanky dude when the lights started shining on him. I said, "Oh, I already know who that is. I know who that guy is, man." I was shocked though. I didn't think they were able to get him from EA. So it was wild. It was wild to me, man. But when he came into the frame, I said, "Oh my god!" Because now, like the same thing Drew said, the same thing. As soon as I saw that, my mind went straight to, "Oh, they're gonna get AJ too. Then they got to get AJ too. They're gonna get one from the contract. They got to get them both." I sure they went after them both at the same time. It had to be done. So that's what I'm hoping for, man. Because he's gonna be nice in ESBC.
And another thing, his player model look nice. And many of you know, in UFC 4, this motherfucker got abs. Fury don't got no abs. His player look real nice, like real crispy. You know, but I just wanted to get into some gameplay stuff. Now we're gonna go tit for tat, step by step, alright? But I wanna jump into the controls first. The controls, everybody been talking about it. Looking very, 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 very similar to the game that we once had, Fight Night Champion. You know, some of the analog stick controls, some of the punches, the blocking, the motion you sway. Do they have influence from EA? Do they? What y'all think, man?
Yeah, so I forgot where this quote came from exactly, but it's along the lines of no art is original. And so, of course, they see that this control scheme, they probably tested it out and said, hey, most of this stuff works. Let's go ahead and start here. This is going to be the base, the building blocks of our game, and add our little nicks and crannies onto it. So I'm all for it. It looks good. It is going to get me to download Parsec and go to Fight Night round 3 and practice and work on the 6-point access or 6-point block. So I can be ready, because a lot of y'all, like Darhkseid, Fanatical, y'all put up with that BS, right? I'm not with it. but for ESBC's sake, I am for to knock this rust off. Y'all not just gonna come out the gates whooping my ass. So,
all right, y'all, we got that out the way, the controls and shit. But this swaying, the way you're able to block and sway, like Juice was talking about the 6-point blocking, whatever that shit is. Listen, I'm gonna
Six axis blocking.
six axis blocking. I'm gonna let Juice and Dark get into that because I don't know nothing about that. I ain't gonna say and act like I do. You know what I'm saying? But that shit, that's crispy. Listen. Everything we've been asking for is in this game. We've been asking for that with the swinging in Fight Night, you know? And I want y'all to explain this 6-point axle shit, because I still don't know what this is. So one of y'all can explain this to us, me and the people, you know what I'm saying?
go ahead, Dark.
Yeah, go ahead. Dark, you're the Fight Night expert. You're the Fight Night expert.
I got you, bro. I got you. Well, basically, all it is essentially, instead of just having the high-low block, which is you've probably seen in not Fight Night Round 4, UFC most recently, you just have the high-low block, body, head block. The 6-axis basically is you can block each side, so you can block your left side of your head, right side of your head, left side of the body, right side of the body. You can block, and then you can block just straight down, up and down. So that's going to be the 6 axis. So you got basically up top, you got the center, left and right, and then your body, center of your body, and then left and right to your body. Yes, so you can block basically just more targeted specifically to where you think the shot's going to go. But previously in the Fight Night games, it also came along with like a parrying system, right? So if someone's throwing a hook to the left side of your head and you block with the 6-axis to that left side, it would give them like a small little stun animation where you can return like a parry shot. Now the only problem with that in the Fight Night games is the window was so long, it looked super unnatural. So like they would just like pause basically for a second and like slow down so you can hit them with a counter shot, which I don't think is what ESBC is going for because they talked about having fluid counters and things of that nature. So I don't know if they're going to have any type of parries where it takes like some super long counter window like that. But that's how Fight Night implemented the 6-axis blocking. It was a blocking system to go along with the parrying system.
And with that, I want to know y'all's take. So with that, they also have just a basic high-low, right? And I've watched, videos, and there's still like nothing is like, I don't know how to put it, but I can't see a reason why if I'm given the option to go in ranked and use the 6-point access, I don't or the 6-axis block over high-low, right? I don't see the benefit of doing that if that's the route that they're going. Knowing them, they're 2 steps ahead and they probably already figured out 6-point access in the ranked field. But like me personally, I've thought about it. I cannot see a reason why not just to make things easier for me. So what is y'all's take on that?
I think if you're gonna go the simulation route, I don't want to say go full on simulation because I do feel like with comboards, when you're trying to simulate real life things, basketball, baseball, things like that, I do feel like there still has to be that game element to it, that arcade element to it. But this is boxing. If we're gonna have a 6-point the axis and then regular high low, I think ESBC is probably smart enough those devs over there at SCI to let us choose which one. So like in UFC 4, right? The grapplers, with the analog, they got the new grapple HUD, and then they got the old one from the older games. If ESBC can do something sort of like that to where we're able to pick and choose how we want to block and things like that, that can be cool. But like Drew said, more simpler. I think simplicity is key as far as terms as boxing. I mean, not boxing, blocking. In terms as that, but everything else, I feel like that has to be complex. But if you just want to high low, hey, I think it should be simple.
And it's not that I want that. I'm just not going to go in and put myself at a disadvantage really from the start. Because the other you don't really necessarily have to think now. If you have to block both sides, your middle, and they've already said, bro, you're going to have to not anticipate. I forgot the word that they're used, but you're going to have to time your slips and things. You would think they would also have that kind of in mind with the blocking, right? So you would have to be able to anticipate what's coming next. So I feel like they are going to have that covered in rank, but we don't know for sure. And that's why I make my like critique videos, right? We can all assume that they know things, it's an alpha, et cetera, right? But they watch these videos, they listen to the community. So for me, why not make the video just to, hey, let them know, hey, these are some things that look weird to me. You know, and get community feedback in the comments as well.
Yeah.
But we ain't even
So
Dot. How do you feel about going into a rank mode? And if they, let's say they were to allow just a high-low block, which is pretty just, I don't want to say it's mindless because we have feints and things like that, and you can do other things to draw that out.
Have
but
that in the game though, right? They have.
Yeah, they have the high-low, and they also have the 6 point, which is going to be more simulation, more realistic, more of a thinker's.
That's what I like. I like that because look, they're gonna be doing this shit is gonna be online, and I keep saying this shit. It's going to be bread on the line, like real,
Yep.
like real.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking about real.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's gonna be.
We betting.
100,000, you know what I'm saying? 250,000. It's gonna be tournaments that these guys are gonna be setting up.
Dot, how much? I thought.
Yeah,
Hey,
man, it's bread.
over at King Juice, we might do a little $20, a little $40, a little $50. We ain't doing.
I'm talking about the outside business of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Esports is like a gambling. It's like a gambling app that you can get and do all of these bettings with gaming. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
It's like
got
a
you.
whole system.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be making chicken off of this. So to make it simulation is going to be really key for these high level players that's playing on this level. You know what I'm saying? Like actually having to use the boxer's mind of, oh, is he gonna throw a body shot? Is he gonna come up with the right hand? Is he gonna throw the left hook behind that? And you know what I'm saying? You have to figure out your guy's routine, because everybody's gonna have a routine.
Yep.
When they fight in this game, you gotta figure out this man's routine. Get that shit in your head. Okay, I know what he gonna do now, because you have to study this guy's tendencies.
And that's
what's gonna be the magic behind doing everything yourself, and it's gonna feel 10 times more gratifying when you know something coming and you could just style on the nigga stupid like.
Exactly. And I want to add too, with this game, there is not going to be an excuse, right? Oh, you're just spamming the jab, et cetera, right? You have tools now. You have tools now to counter and punish this jab spammer, right? If there's any punch you're going to spam, it's going to be a jab. But nonetheless, you have the tools.
One thing that I saw that instantly reminded me of Fight Night. Dark, you play this the most, so you probably know about this. Mm-hmm. When you're throwing like a hook or like a straight or something, and like the punch almost like it lands, but it's not landing. It's like it goes like over the head. You're trying to sway. You get what I'm saying? Like it lands on top. You're trying to counter and you can't. But in that trailer, that punch went over his head and he cleanly countered that. I forgot who it was. I think who was it, man? I can't remember. It was the light. It was fucking
Arthur.
What's the light ball's head?
Arthur. Lyndon Arthur.
Lyndon Arthur.
Him and somebody else, bro. I can't remember.
Was it Lawrence or
Okoli?
It might have been an Okoli. It might have been him. But whoever it was a clean counter. But like I was saying, you gotta have a balance between arcade and simulation. But since this is like combat sports, you gotta have a little bit more, well, sports in general, gotta have a little bit more simulation rather than arcade. But there has to be some arcade element, because at the end of the day, it is a game.
But it
is a game, though.
Why does it have to have an arcade? Arcade games. They got Creed. Creed is lit.
Yeah.
You want arcade? Creed.
It's
do a whole Kingdom out the damn ring.
If people say that, but like my thing is, what are the arcade elements that need to be in the game, right? I know scoring, judging, right? There's no way for them to like get everything right. They're gonna have to base it off of like damage, output, and things like that, right? So it's not gonna just be. They can't be like, oh, this man controlled the ring, and like they can't make that 100% simulation. I don't think we would actually want 100% simulation judging right? So in that instance, that's something that that could be semi or arcadish, right? But everything else, like with boxing, this sport, how? What like?
I think when I say arcade, I mean like ragdoll animations, KO animations, like some sort of that nature. A lot of
No.
blood.
Here's the thing. Here's the
That's what I
thing.
mean.
OD blood. There's been people bleeding, and there people cut worse than others, and I think they had like a cut rating on their like the my character, so that would obviously cause more blood the bigger cut. But the ragdolls, we've seen people get ragdolled right before in a real boxing ring. We've seen them get punched and go limp before they hit the ground. That's not arcadey. It's just every fucking every knockout shouldn't be like that. And we saw Lawrence land on what's his name, Arthur. And Arthur, his arms kind of went back. I was kind of second guessing if it was just a knockdown, but it looked like a knockout. But that's fine, right? Like that's realistic.
Keep the fly shit though. The knockouts didn't look different. The flash knockout didn't look no different than the regular knockout. In my eyes, like when they was like, oh, flash knockdowns and knockdowns, I didn't see no difference in the flash. Like he still dropped like dead weight. Like,
why are you talking about when Arthur fell back?
When whoever fell back, the dude, the Russian
in the green,
Germany dude that they had, and he hit him. That was supposed to be talking about the.
Oh, I don't remember. You talking about with Arthur? It was the Arthur in the green, and then the white dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember that.
And they was talking about the knockdowns and how it looked ragdoll and shit like that. We seen the ragdoll knockdowns, but the flash knockdowns didn't look no different than the ragdoll knockdown.
Now with the Arthur joint, where Arthur, like he literally fell back and his arms were like, I don't want to say he had control of his body necessarily, but he fell backwards. And it's one of them things where it's not like the ref wouldn't just wave that off in real life. He would get a 10 count. While the rest of their knockouts,
flash knockdown was when he flew straight back like
that could be. I don't know. I would have to rewatch. I don't know what that sequence was about, but when I saw that knockout, it looked different. So it stood out to me because it was different. Now with the joints where they're just going limb and
when I see a flash knockdown, I'm looking for him to get punched and he dropped to a knee and you know what I'm saying?
The flat like a flash knockdown. Okay, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah, like flash knockdown.
Okay.
Flash knockdowns didn't look no different to me than the actual knockouts.
Okay.
And another thing, I know it's alpha, but was that Josh Taylor? Remember when the round ends and like he goes back to the corner? Was that Josh Taylor?
No.
That wasn't Josh, because he looked exactly like Josh Taylor. All right, that wasn't him. That's cool. Because he had on like those gold like orange.
Yeah.
No, it's some German dude.
Yeah, it was some German dude. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
He looked exactly like Josh Taylor. I'm like, Josh Taylor don't look like that. But I wanted to get into this. It's just something small. They show bag work and like how you are able to like practice, I guess. You know how in Fight Night they had like the training mini games and things like that. But the funny thing is though, it was Arturo Gatti. So my question is it gonna be like a sort of like you're able to upgrade the fighter that you're using online ranked? No. Or it's like that's completely career?
Let me the gist I got from and you bringing that up actually gives me an idea, but that was like part of the career mode joint, right? So it looks like you're going to be able, because you can use current fighters, the real life fighters in career mode. It just looks like that's like a training ground. But like with these fighters being motion captured and having different feelings, I would love for there to be an online like hub like that to where I could pick Lawrence, whatever, and practice his punches and see how they're coming out. And then like, go on rank while in the hub, talking shit to whoever else is at the gym. Talk, hey bro, you trying to spar? On some real like tough shit.
Like the park on 2K.
Like something like that, yeah.
So that is a cool element. I don't want to get into it, but let's get into it. The player ratings. I had a real, I wouldn't say problem, but a grievance with the player ratings. For one, there was no switch stance. I didn't see a switch stance on there. For two, I feel like it was too much in detail. If you get what I'm trying to say, like some stuff really didn't need to be a stat.
Yeah, like there was certain like it was like hard. Like there were certain things. It's like, bro, just
there's a couple. There's a couple.
like yeah.
Like right eye cut power, like some shit. Like it was like some shit. I'm like, bro, that doesn't need to be like some of that shit could have been in one category.
Yeah.
Like the fuck, I think it was like left hand jab power or something like that could be like in one. Like the jab itself can be in a category of its own, but they don't have a switch stance. So what's the point of having left jab power and right jab power? If you get what I'm trying to say.
I think them doing that was just a thing to try to separate them from the rest of the gaming community by saying, "Oh, look, we got the most attributes in a game," and that's where I think you get all of these. Some things are significantly good, and some things, like you said, like don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that they trying to use just to separate themselves. So that somebody asks them, "Hey, what do you bring different from Fight Night?" Well, we have the most attributes. We have this movement. We have XYZ. That's my take on that.
I'm looking at it right now, so it seems like I see chin resistance, okay, body resistance, cut resistance, bruise resistance, blocking, left hand power, right hand, jab modifier, hook modifier, uppercut modifier, straight modifier. So I'm assuming that's like a modifier that's if you want to throw a lazy jab, if you want to throw a power jab. That's what I'm getting from the whole modifier thing. But again, that I don't know if that really needs to be in there as a stat. Per se.
What do you feel, Darhkseid?
Yeah, like the modifier. I don't. I think a modifier should cater towards more of the fighter themselves.
See, the problem with this is, I think what this really comes down to is we don't really know how this really plays into it until we can see like the attributes of like an actual fighter, right? Because that's going to really determine why they need these multitude of stats, right? For like the straight model, like you're talking about the modifiers, the hook modifier, the straight modifiers, because they're doing it based on the attributes. Like for someone who has good uppercuts, is their stat for the uppercut modifier going to be like almost maxed out? Is that what's going to determine who throws better uppercuts in that way, or is it going to be based off for like just the fighter's moveset, things of that nature? That's really what's going to determine it, is the attributes that they decide to use for the actual fighters will determine how we really see all these stats. That's why I was hoping in this trailer they showed like the actual, like we saw the fighter select screen that they posted in the Discord when Aimbot was playing Todd. I wanted to see the attribute list there so we can kind of see like if we saw a fighter and like we saw somebody like Frank Bruno, for example, and then we saw his attributes. We know how Frank Bruno would have fought, so we could tell from the attributes what they're focusing on, how they're trying to balance out the fighters from that aspect. That would have gave us a little bit more information on how, like this screen that Jay's talking about right now, the stand, like all the attributes. That would give us more information on how they're trying to like balance out the fighters that way.
And also, I'm seeing something on the far right side. So it shows how many points you have, and then under it, it's kind of like intangibles, like vitals, heart rate, things like that. I wonder how you're gonna be able to upgrade that. Does that upgrade as you go along, as you're upgrading along, like your jab and body resistance, or are you able to upgrade that along? Because I feel like that should be in itself upgradable instead of kind of CPU upgraded. I guess like updated by itself. I think you like that should be player like specific. Like, how do y'all feel? Y'all, let me see. I'll try to send it to the Discord so y'all can see, but like y'all get what I'm saying though, right? Like vitals, I feel like that's more important. Like a heart rate and things like that. If heart rate is really gonna be something vital in this game, really feel like that should be an upgradable stat, not intangible per se. I hope I made sense. Yeah, I hope I made sense with that because I'm kind of like rambling. Yeah.
Right. So with that, from what I'm understanding, there are certain things that you see that are upgradable and certain things you don't see that are upgradable.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So certain things like that, I would actually like that because this career mode. I love the fact that it's leaning more towards a role playing game. in a sense with all those details and things like that. So let's say, right, I'm getting knocked down in the amateurs or whatever, and in whatever like mini game or whatever they're going to have, if I'm able to get up, that should kind of boost up my heart or my chin durability or something just on its own. I'm cool with that, bro. That's pretty tough. That would almost maybe give you a reason to kind of maybe fight a little wilder or do just put yourself in tougher situations so you can kind of build the character that you want. So I would actually like to have certain things kind of upgrade over time as I progress through my career. So yeah, I'm actually cool with that. Now my punches and my power and speed, I kind of want to do that on my own. But yeah, the like intangibles, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I could see the same thing, but then something also that is on that screen with all the attributes I'm interested in is like there's a couple at the very bottom. There's like discipline, courage, confidence, and I think those are the three ones that I'm kind of interested in how they're going to implement that. Because if you're controlling, I could see, because they almost sound like AI stats to me, right? Courage, confidence, discipline. So I want to see if you're controlling the fighter, what is discipline, courage, confidence? How does that play in to how you're fighting? If you're, I guess like you're just talking about, Juice. It could be like getting up after the fact, things of that nature.
I feel like too, because we saw that blurred screenshot of those two fighters. There was quite a few stats displayed. And then again, they could have like a RT button that you can scroll through and see more stats. But 9 times out of 10, probably some of those things are just career mode only. Some of those stats.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
We don't know. So
yeah. I see. I never even really thought about like all of the stats and attributes that they really got, because I'm not gonna be able to get into that until I actually have the game in my hands and I'm creating my guy. You know what I'm saying? Now I see, oh shit, they got this, they got that. But that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. I ain't got much on that. But yeah, I can't wait for this shit, man.
Yeah, I feel you there. Actually, while we're talking about that, something that you guys talked about earlier, I want to go back to when you guys were talking about the controls. I just thought about, and you guys were talking like Juice was saying, basically, because this is something I just remember Fanatico was saying also, is if there is going to be the high-low block, like the high-low auto block, but also the 6-axis, what's going to be the advantage? Why would someone choose to use 6-axis over? Yeah, but I was just talking about the controls from how you guys were talking about earlier. Like Juice was saying, why would you choose to use the 6-axis blocking over the high-low block if it's going to be easier, right? So I'm hoping that they would at least, if they're going to have both systems in, I'm sure they know if people are going to go towards the whatever gives them the advantage. So if it's just easier to just use the high-low block, people are just going to use that instead. So I'm assuming they're going to use it like in like a ranked, maybe like a quick fight mode and like a ranked mode. Yeah. Where in ranked, you're going to have to use the 6-axis. There is going to be no option to use the high-low block. But if you just want to play casually, you don't want to have to think so hard and guess so many different directions, and you can just play quick fight. But if you're going to be playing ranked, trying to go after the big boys, you're going to have to use everything that comes with the simulation, full simulation style. You have to use that 6-axis.
Or like this, once you hit a certain rank or division, you're not able to use the high-low blocking.
No.
You have to specifically...
Just from the jump.
Nah, bro, I like that.
Just from the jump.
I like that. Nah, bro, I think once you hit a certain division...
That's not, because you might as well get... once you hit a certain division, then you're going to start playing people that's been playing like that. I feel like...
Yeah. And that's not even... Yeah, that's exactly what we don't want. It's not going to be a level playing field.
Yeah, from the jump, you might as well learn how to block like that. It's gonna add an extra like skill factor.
So we talked about the gameplay enough. We got to talk about this. The punches. I'm seeing for one, I want to address this. I've been seeing a lot of people. Let me get in my trolling Twitter voice. Oh my goodness, the punches they still look sloppy. At the top of the screen, can you idiots tell me what it says? Alpha gameplay, work in progress. Keyword in progress. Do you motherfuckers know what progress means? Huh? Okay, I just wanted to know.
I'm a go.
Progress. The punches are not gonna be like this.
I'm not
Hopefully,
worried about. That's why
yeah.
I'm not really worried
I'm
about
not
the.
too worried
I'm not
about
worried
it.
about the punches like that. I'm expecting. I'm expecting from the work these guys been doing. I'm expecting for those punches to be fixed by the time the game drop. You know what I'm saying?
And
So I just got to go off of the work that they've been showing each time. Gradually, this game has been getting better and better. They've been listening to the community. So everybody is talking about the punching. I'm expecting them to fix that by the time this game is in our hands. You feel me?
Let me.
I ain't tripping like that.
Let me go in. So,
what's your thoughts on the?
If we weren't critiquing this game at all, do y'all think this game would look how it looks now?
No.
Yes or no?
Nah.
No.
What's the issue?
Because they're actually taking back what we're saying.
Exactly.
They're actually.
Let me cut. So let me stop you right there. Exactly. So if some punches don't look good, why shouldn't people be able? Why? Why shouldn't people be able to not necessarily complain, but critique that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I clearly see the alpha.
You're not gonna sit here and complain about a beta looking like it. I mean, it's a beta. It's gonna look sloppy. You get what I'm saying?
But you just said the critiques.
Self-explainable on that end.
But you said the critiques were valid. We have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, it has to.
They'll think it's okay.
Exactly.
Okay, they didn't say nothing. We're just gonna assume that it's
Bingo.
Okay. You gotta say it, bro.
Bingo. Right. And I've had people because I've critiqued the things that I didn't like, and I've had a few people, just a small minority with that same mindset. More people are like, bro, yeah, I agree. Asked out himself, those body punches, it was just off. I don't think any of the other punches necessarily look bad, but the body punches, I was just like, ugh, they're not like, I can't even put my finger on exactly what it is. I want to say they're not changing levels and getting that torque into the body punches.
It don't look like it's actually hitting them.
It
don't look like it's really digging bodies.
It don't look like it have pop behind it. It kind of just
Exactly.
Yeah, that too.
It just look like it's a regular punch, which I do think they're gonna fix.
Me too. Hey, here's the thing too. I feel like they'll fix it, but us as people that want this game to succeed, we should be like, hey, just making sure y'all see this right here, because they're not just watching these videos just to, oh man, they love it. Oh, we're doing great. No, they want feedback. So I'm gonna provide that.
I mean, because at the end of the day, we the people gonna be buying the product, so you want to sell the best as you can.
Right. And another thing that I saw, so O'Keefe, how you say the motherfucking name?
I don't even try to say his last name. Just say Lawrence.
I ain't gonna fuck it up.
Just
I
say
don't
Lawrence.
disrespect him or nothing. But he's on the ropes, and like the bald head dude. Y'all
Arthur.
Listen, I'm gonna just call him bald head.
Arthur.
Dude. Y'all know who I'm talking. Arthur. I'm just calling him Arthur. You know what I'm saying? He got his heart rate up, and he just he just going crazy. And then one body uppercut, and then he backs away, and now his heart rate's going. Do y'all like that? Because let me say this. I do not like in UFC 4 when I have someone rocked, and they're still able to hurt me. I don't feel like that should be... Like, when I have them hurt bad, no, I'm talking about when they're hurt bad. Like, when they're hurt real bad. When they're, like, hunching over, doing this... Like, come on, nah. You shouldn't be able to throw a punch with full power.
I'm not even the biggest boxing fan, but Deontay Wilder versus that, what his name starts with his last name with a B, something like that.
Brazil?
In the Ortiz fight, and in Brazil.
When he rocked him, Deontay Wilder rocked him, and then it was like in the corner, and then he rocked Deontay Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, that does.
Actually back Wilder up.
Yeah. That happens in real. Derek Lewis did it to the Junior.
People, fighters. A lot of fighters make their money off of bread and butter, off of fucking being hurt and being able to hurt you while they're hurt.
But then that goes back to my point of it's simulation, but it has to have somewhat of an arcade, bro. It has to have it's a video game at the end of the game. Yes.
No, but here's the thing, though. But here's the thing. While that guy is swinging, he's still hurt. So he's still putting himself in a position to be finished.
It balances itself.
Imagine if it's all about making reads and being calculated. You can throw a feint and get him to throw, and then boom, counter. It's over. He's hurt.
Yeah.
That's the finisher.
Right.
Speaking the gospel. Speaking the gospel.
It balances itself. How does real life just balance itself out? Wow.
Hey, I like what Jay's saying though, but the problem with that is, like, I'll give you an example because I play both Fight Night and UFC, so I can tell you the differences between the two when it comes to when you're hurt, in a sense, right? So it's in Fight Night. Basically, if you're hurt, you're no threat to your opponent, right? They can just walk you down. Your punches have no pop. You basically just have to hold block and just hope for the best when you're playing Fight Night, right? But in reality, it should not be that way because even if you're hurt, you should be able to still stun your opponent. Like when I play Fight Night, I try to play it sim style, even though the game isn't sim. So even when I hurt somebody, because they'll still try to throw some punches back. So if I hurt somebody and I got them up against the ropes, I'm gonna move in just a tiny bit and back up a little bit because I know they're gonna start throwing punches as soon as I come forward. Moving just a tiny bit to get them to start throwing punches, and once they're opened up, they're even more exposed after that. Hit them on one more good shot, they're out. So that's how it should be, more of the fact of just holding block or not being able to stun your opponent back, and then that opens up a whole slew of other problems. If you can't if someone can't push in on you because your punches got no pop, then once you get stunned, it's over basically because they can just go crazy on you. You can't fight back.
Love it.
All right. See, I like how we all agreed to this. So, I like that. I like that.
Ain't no disagreeing. You need to agree with us, bro. No.
All right. Dot brought this up, and we talked about this off camera a lot. And I feel like with the current state of that EA game, not gonna talk about it. That EA game and that whole scene, the eSports scene, the display of competition that I've seen over these last few days of this UFC 4 bullshit is fucking pathetic. I don't care about your feelings. I don't give a fuck. You got something to say? I don't give a fuck. The shit that was displayed yesterday was so fucking pathetic. You got high-level players, and I said this. You have high-level players doing shit that average players do. When people come to see, and this is on the UFC official channel, by the way.
Average player or average cheeser?
when people come to see esports, they're thinking highest of the high. Problem, for example. Everybody know who Problem is. If you don't know, high-level man player. When you see him play, you're going there to see stuff that you can't do, that nobody else knows how to do. He knows how to do it. You can't do that. We go to see stuff that we can't replicate, that the average player can't replicate. I don't want to go in there and see esports doing shit that I can do. I want to see some shit that a regular person can't do. You get what I'm trying to say? That's what esports is, but at the same time putting on entertaining fights. You can't do both. You can't be doing what the average player is doing and putting on some boring ass fights. They gotta be a balance, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like go ahead. Y'all take it over.
I feel like now, not into EA's defense, but the game isn't really designed to give you a different feel when it comes to fighters. Everybody most people jabs look the same. Most people cross look the same. Most people all their kicks look the same. Everything looks the same. So it's going to be hard to create such diversity between competitive players besides the simple stuff like making reads. But other than that, nobody looks different. And really with the current state of, I ain't gonna say meta because it is meta, fuck all that. Everybody plays like that. with everyone playing like that, you're not really gonna see much diversity between the competitive players. You're gonna see them doing the things that are the strongest in the game that another player can do, but the game allows, the learning curve is very small. Well, not the learning curve, the ceiling of the game is very small. Like someone can come in 5 months from now and be a GOAT in the game. When in reality, that's very rare. Like you're not gonna see somebody get on Mortal Kombat in 5 months and beat Sonic Fox. You're just not. But somebody from 5 months ago can get on UFC 4 and just be a god because they got down the basics, which the whole game is basic.
Right. And I think ESBC, they're fixing it. And that's why I wanted to bring up the esports scene. What is y'all thoughts on it? Because they're making they're making this feel real. They're making the players feel something. All right.
Okay.
They're making the players feel, you know what I'm saying, they have something to play for. You know what I'm saying? Something other than money. Something that gives you the bragging rights. They got a whole real belt. I feel like that's a nice feel to it. They're talking about bringing real fighters in, so like the players can meet and shit. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, for me personally, I just want it to be like kind of what Jay was off what Jay was saying. If I'm going to see a tournament, or if I'm going to lose in a tournament, I want to be able to say I lost to the better guy, right? The better fighter, right? I don't want to say I lost because I got cheesed by broken mechanics or something like that, right? If the game is balanced and you can outbox me, I have no problem losing in a tournament or anything of that nature. And even online, if you can outbox me, I don't want to be in a tournament and saying I lost because of something out of my control, right? That's basically what ESBC is going for, is putting the controls in the player's hands. Like the defensive controls, that's going to be in the player's hands. So if you're getting spammed by something, you got the tools to get around it. You don't have to think about how to get around it, right? The game's not going to do it for you. So you're going to have to think about how to get around it. But as far as the esports scene goes, also what Jay was saying, where players who watch esports, they look to people who do things that they can't do. That's one half of it. They do that, but they also look at things to improve on themselves, right? That's the reason a lot of people watch Pry for a prime example, because he does things that he'll help you improve, because he does things that you can work on. Like if you use like Dominic Cruz, for example, I've been watching Pry use Dominic Cruz to learn a couple things from him, just like that. He does things that you can improve on. But when you're looking at people on the top level, like we just saw in the UFC tournament, like you see that's not the example you want to be setting for people to be like, so this is what wins at the highest level. This is what I got to do. I got to be like this guy, because that's basically how the game gets into the state it's in right now. That's how the meta gets created, essentially, is they watch the top players, then the top players, whatever they set, it trickles down to the average players, right? So that's going to be a big thing in the game, in my opinion.
But
the worst part of it all, they streamed that on YouTube, on the official UFC YouTube. And I saw Zayav repost like the amount of, it had like 100-some thousand views, bro. So that's 100-some thousand people that's seeing, okay, let me just get on UFC and just try to get rear naked chokes, or try to just get me
exactly.
that Bill Axel was doing, bro. And like when it comes to like Jay was saying, when it comes to the competitive scene, bro, like I'm not money driven. Like obviously winning money is cool, but going out there and displaying actual skill, and like you said, the better player winning, or the better guy at that moment winning, is more important to me than just money. You know what I mean? Because money will have people out there doing exactly what you seen yesterday in ESFL.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that, like, with all due respect, bro, it was disgusting, bro.
So I guess all the UFC for, I just kind of zoned out, bro. I didn't know what the fuck the topic was, bro. From what Darhkseid said and what I said is like completely different. So I don't know, bro. So I as far as like the esports joint, like, yeah, I agree with everything Darhkseid said. People are going to be looking and pretty much trying to replicate what they see in their gameplay. That's why they go to the best players, et cetera, et cetera. So that's where I agree. I thought we talking about bragging rights and shit.
No, I'm just saying they're doing that because money is. They're not playing for nothing else.
Oh,
$2,000.
Okay,
I'm gonna do.
Got you. Okay,
got that in that mindset. When there's something more to that, when there's bragging rights, I wanna skill this player. I wanna do that. I feel like that's what ESBC is bringing to the esports scene. I get to meet my favorite boxer if I win. That's more important to me. That's more important to me than money. That's just me. My bad.
That's exactly why this game has to be all sim. You hear me? You feel me? Because of everything you just said is exactly why this game has to be simulation, and you can't try to mix that arcade element to it, because it's people just trying to be playing this on a very skillful level. You feel me?
Yeah.
In competitive level. And the bread.
Yeah.
And the bread. You know what I'm saying? So all of them elements is why this shit they can't, as much sim as possible that they could fit into this game is warranted.
Yes, sir.
Right, and I want to really harp on this because I feel like I got a lot to say on this. Somebody is really betting real money, because Dot be reading into this. He do his research. You know what I'm saying? People really gonna be betting on this. I don't want to lose $100 on somebody who use meta. You know, I'm gonna be bad. That's 100. Even though I don't care about that, that's $100 I just lost. You know,
you're not gonna be able, it's gonna be what you. It's gonna be pools outside of what but the eSports betting shit. That shit is going to be organized from the top down. That shit is going to be like official, an official thing. They're gonna be having events, show you on TV, shit like that. You feel me? That's gonna be like E3 of the shit. You feel me? Like big deal. So yeah.
Yeah, now like I'm saying, bro. Listen, it's never. I feel like when you get to a certain point of competition or some point of playing high, like I brought up Problem, I'm more than sure he's made plenty of money off of Madden, esports, and things like that. Yeah. At a certain point, money it's not about the money anymore. He's doing this to show everybody that he's the best. Like I said, bragging rights. If I win that belt, which I am gonna win it, fuck out of here, I'm winning that bitch. Simple, you know what I'm saying? That's tough for y'all. That's tough. Listen, I'm winning that belt though, but when the next event goes down, I'm not going there to win money. Well, of course, money comes with it. I want to defend my belt when I leave there. When I leave Vegas, I want to walk out there with that belt. That's what esports is about. It's about competition first. That's really what it boils down to. Competition and bragging rights.
Yeah, y'all not saying shit about that bread, but when that shit 250, 300, all right? Like, how the money you gonna be wanting to
Hey.
You ain't gonna sit here like, the money ain't shit.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
You know what I mean?
That's life
on that. That 250, 300, niggas is playing for that shit, bro. I'm in the crib practicing.
When you winning that type of money, you gotta have a game that makes sense and is ready to be played at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to, as soon as the game dropped, they want it to be at the level of boom, high competition.
Right.
So let me aim at Dot's way right now. So I had made my Mikaela Mayer video, and then I made that follow-up joint. You was talking about I disagree with some things. What are you disagreeing with?
Hold on. Before you even say something, Dot, let's just transition, because that's really what I want. I want to talk about that. Let's just move over to that. So for the people, before you even go, for the people that don't know
what piece it was.
Mikaela Mayer, right? She gets on Twitter, right? Let me talk in my feminist voice. You're not a feminist, Mikaela. First off, I want to apologize because I say I wanted her to get KO'd. Listen, I don't want her to get KO'd. I'm sorry.
Ain't nobody gonna be KO.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I apologize. I'm sorry. All right. She goes on Twitter. Women's contracts aren't negotiable. They're not negotiable. You know, men's contracts are negotiable. The quote, Clarissa Shields, she said, Mikaela, shut the fuck up. My baby, I'm sorry, yours wasn't negotiable. That's tough for you. But I got my bread. That's tough. But I got mine though. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody else came out and said, yeah, Clarissa, right. That's tough for you, Mikaela. You got some bad managers going on. Then she just tries to, you know what I'm saying, backtrack. Oh, I didn't mean it like this. No, you said what you said.
She didn't backtrack.
No, I'm not saying her. I'm talking about other people. I ain't saying no names. Don't backtrack now. You know what I'm saying. You was on her side. Stay on that side. You know what I'm saying. That's tough for you. Well, what's y'all thoughts on that whole contract situation? Because I feel like, hold on. For one, it came out. It was reported. I don't know about who it was. I remember seeing somebody out. That it was she was getting her contract negotiated through WBC or WBO or something like that. That's how her contract was negotiated.
She was talking. They said she was talking with the WBC portion of recruitment somehow, and that's not the proper people to be trying to discuss contracts.
You're trying to build up your promotion, and you're going through somebody else.
And this is why I got on her, respectfully got on her Twitter and was saying that, look, I didn't know who you was until you said something about this game. Like, honestly, Like
The business.
that was one of the. Oh, I think that's what it was, Juice.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm gonna come back to that. That's probably what it was.
That I was disagreeing with you on is that like, nah.
So with that, yeah, like I don't know why they have two separate things, like because as y'all said, she was getting communicated with her WBC, and those joints are non-negotiable. But it seems like if you go through like Todd and Steel City, it'll be negotiable. But back to Dot, I think that's what it was. I knew right when you commented and I read it, I was like, that he probably disagrees with the hardcore joint. You can't if there's a part of boxing that you just don't follow. Like me personally, I don't feel like waking up and watching the bruvs. Sometimes I've even missed a few AJ fights because I don't want to wake up. Right? I used to have a bad sleep schedule. Right? If you are missing events, I'm okay. You probably won't make every event, but if there's a whole part of boxing that you're missing, how can you be considered that hardcore boxing fan, right? Mikaela Mayer, let's get back to Mikaela. Let's be honest. She's beautiful, right? She looks like a model out there. Even though she may not be everybody's cup of tea, she looks like a model out there. She represented our country in the Olympics. She's been what?
She ain't no Ashanti.
See, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. She okay.
She bad. I want
bro. Okay. She catches your eye. She has to. Okay. Like let's keep it a buck. She's represented our country in the Olympics. So it's like she has a lot of things to where, like, if you're following the sport, and she's been on your favorite fighters undercards, if you're following the sport, like, she'll literally be the fight before your favorite fighter. So you can't be a hardcore and be like, oh, bro, who are you? I don't know who you are. And then also on the tail end of that, be like, oh, well, you're not going to get such and such downloads anyway. We don't know who you are. But at the same time, be like, well, you're going to profit from this because you're going to get exposure. How's she going to get exposure if no one is going to use her? At least that's what y'all are saying. So it's like,
let me say this.
if she's, you gotta, pardon me, Ed, you gotta think of it like this. If she's going to be a downloadable character, like where she's gonna, what? Is somebody that we have to buy? Is she somebody that needs to be purchased? With the state of women's boxing, right? She gotta get on her grind and get her own fandom.
Agree.
You know what I mean? She got to do that. And by her coming out, the way she's coming out,
the way she
in business,
yeah,
that's bad for a brand.
Yeah.
Then she was.
I agree.
She was wrong, and then she was wrong.
Right.
Then she was wrong.
And she's putting out false. She's not putting out the real business behind her. She's just going off of her feelings.
Wait. That's the thing. She wasn't wrong. She didn't back. Again, we all just agreed it was a WBC. Those contracts don't seem to be negotiable. That other chick that Coach's Corner had interviewed, she had originally said that she went through them and it was non-negotiable. So she's not lying. Mm-hmm. The only thing that she messed up on was coming out and you're pretty much crying. Yes. That's where she messed up at, right? While it turns out Amanda Serrano pretty much had that same experience, it seems like. But her original tweet out was just like, just personal things, right? That's how you handle business, right? So at the tail end of things, right? Mikaela Mayer would be, at this current state, the third best female. The third best female. Third best. Who?
Yeah, well, see, now nobody gives a shit because she already stuck her foot in her mouth.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say that. Like at the end of the day, I wouldn't even say that though. At the end of the day, it's women's boxing. So I agree. Like it's not as big. So at the end of the day, people aren't going to care, right? But like if they were to see her stats, the energy would change, right? Because she would automatically be that counter pick to Katie Taylor, right? So I'm just saying.
All right, listen. I want to know Pryor and Dark, man. Y'all go ahead too, man. Y'all get on this juicy info, man. You know.
Well, as far as my side goes, I mean, when I was mostly on the same mind length as Juice. I was mostly with Juice on that one. Just as a fact, because I know Mikaela Mayer is one of the best boxers in women's boxing right now. So I was of the mind, like, if her contract was as she was saying it was to be at that time, I was like, okay, well, she definitely shouldn't just go in for that. Because I saw some people saying, I wouldn't have had a problem. Some people are saying she doesn't deserve a lot or things of that nature, but people saying that she doesn't deserve any more than what she said she was offered. Like, that's crazy for what she is. Yeah, that's crazy for what she is.
Yeah,
Yeah, people like, especially on Juice's video, a bunch of dudes on that video are just like, why should she get any more? Like, that's insane to me. I could agree if you say she doesn't deserve a whole lot because she wants to get some exposure from the game too. That's fine. That's fine. I can get that because women's boxing doesn't get that big of exposure, so not a lot of people are gonna know who she is right off the bat. That's cool. But for people to say she should just get in the game for $500, like that would just show me where people's heads are at.
Yeah.
They can't. That's why they stopped responding. And once I heard that, I was like, yeah, I'm out because I can't convince y'all of nothing. It's over.
500 though, bro. Like that's nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like I never said shit about the bread. Like you got
you kept it. Yeah, you kept it respectable. I ain't. Yeah, it was. There's just people there's people borderline. There's people borderline like just women haters. So just a little incels. But
I ain't gonna cap on. I went a little bit too far. I was talking about how I want her to get KO'd and some shit. I was going kind of
bro.
We're going in.
Because I was mad because because that all boils down to, like we've all said, building your own brand. That has nothing to do. Listen, she said something along the lines of 5 to 10K downloads for $500, which is no money. But I'm sorry, my baby. Nobody's downloading you 5,000 times, even if it worked like that. Let's just keep it above.
Bro. MMA is a menace, bro.
Like, hey, bro, I keep it above, bro. I keep it above, bro.
Really a menace, bro. Like, how you gonna say you get her to knocked out, bro? Like, maybe a whoop, but knocked out.
Listen, I apologize. Listen, I got a stern warning. I'm not gonna, start on the details about that, but I got a stern warning. I'm sorry about that. Sorry. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Hey, Jay, on that point though, this goes along with what Juice was saying though. I didn't think about this originally, but Juice made a good point. You were saying that people wouldn't download her because nobody knows who she is, but I guarantee you, if there was a tournament. And one tournament, like if there's a tournament, there's like a women's division or something like that, and she's used by a lot of the top boxers. I guarantee you, just like that, downloads go straight up if she's one of the best people in the division. Yeah, so that's a good point that Juice made on that.
Yeah. All right, let's touch on Juice. What are we touching right now,
bro? I got that. What I had some other things just in case, but all the technical difficulties and shit we done been through, bro. I don't forgot some shit, bro.
Let me see what we touching, because I got my shit recording.
Here's one.
About to touch an hour, so we.
The recording.
Yeah, the recording.
Oh,
not the fucking.
Like I would probably say 45 minutes or so.
Bro, I'm gonna go to Best Buy, bro, and get some RGB fans. I'm over here hating, looking at Darhkseid stuff, bro. I'm over here.
Darhkseid setup is
it's
crazy. All right, y'all. So let's talk about this next thing: launch plans.
That's a good one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna save mine, but I just want to give a basic premise.
Okay.
I was disappointed. Let's keep it a buck. Keep it.
Yeah.
We was disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're disappointed. But we all respect. I've seen this across the board from every content creator. We all respect the move that ESBC made, because that takes a lot of balls from a small. They're not in the company anymore. But that takes a lot of balls to say we're not gonna come out and give a timetable for when we're releasing something. When it drops, and that's final. I've been asking for that since the very first roundtable. We was talking about this the last roundtable. We was all asking for that, and they did it. That takes a lot of fucking balls, and I respect them for that. What's y'all thoughts on just the launch plans?
Let me start this one off, because I want to ask y'all a question. Did anybody here hear them say that they're going to cancel early access entirety? Like, there's no early access?
No, I didn't see.
Nobody. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody here at this table listens. Congratulations, because there's this notion going around that it was canceled and we're just gonna get a release date for the actual game.
Why would they do that? That's stupid.
Right? Exactly. But then again, early
I wouldn't care if they did it.
Me too. At this point, me either. But the way that they're going about it, I feel like they almost want to make early access too perfect because they don't want it to leave a bad taste in people's mouth. And at that point, just don't do it, right? Just get the game out to the people in a good state.
Quote unquote. That's the point.
Exactly, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying. I feel like they may be trying to get everything just perfect, right? So they don't. So this small unknown indie team doesn't leave a bad taste in people's mouth. And at that point, yeah, go ahead and just call it and we'll get it when we get it, right? Just get their full release. I'm fine with either or, right? But I just wanted to make sure we all listen here. But yeah, I'm good. I feel like the earliest we could get it is late this year, Christmas time this year. We could be in early access. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear from Pride and Darhkseid.
Yeah,
they got on.
We hogging. Yeah, we hogging the mic and shit.
I don't want to rush product, bro. Like, I respect the company for pushing something back versus really, we're just gonna release it and then sell, because that's how you get sales high in the beginning, and then they fall off, and then the player base fall off because your game fall off. Like, we've seen ton and ton games. Cyberpunk is literally the biggest, one of the most anticipated games
ever, probably two.
And it shit the bed at the hardest level, bro. That game went from the most anticipated to being like people were trashing that game, trashing the company that made it, and you'll get that with people, bro. It's especially when they spend their money for it. Oh yeah, they really gonna grill you. So it's better off to just wait, bro. I'm comfortable with waiting. You know what I mean? Like, everybody know the saying, "Good thing comes to those who wait," but I got hope in Steel City with what they're showing us and the way that they take criticism, and that's why they're pushing everything back. I feel like because they want to release. I mean, Juice is right. I didn't think about what Juice said with the just scratch the beta and or if anything, make a closed beta and give it to certain people and they can use it. But if you're gonna try to just make the game perfect before the beta, then you might as well just scratch the beta and just wait for the game to drop. And you can have community testers within the game, within the Discord and stuff like that. Or you can have rotations and stuff like that for people to try to find bugs, things of that nature, and you can roll from there.
Right. Darhkseid?
I kind of go. I agree with what Pride's saying right there too. And I think a big thing too is the transparency that they've had from the beginning is a huge reason why people are trusting them to delay right now. I think that's the biggest thing, because if they haven't been releasing any information like they've been doing, haven't been in the Discord talking with the people who had thoughts on the games and things of that nature, if we've been waiting all this time just for a trailer, we had no other news, and then we get the trailer and it's a delay, I guarantee you people would be roasting this right now. People would be going crazy. But the fact that they've been keeping us transparent throughout the process and letting us know what the updates and things of that nature, the Discord, that's pretty much given us, we trust in them to make the product what we want it to be. So we'll give them the time just because they've been transparent with us from the beginning. We've seen what they're going through. We know what their end goal is, what type of game they're trying to make. And I think that's the biggest reason why there hasn't been. I haven't really seen much blowback from people. People are okay with the delay. I'm okay with the delay as well, because if you have any thoughts of the game not being ready for like the early access launch, I think you should delay it for sure. If you have any inkling of doubt, if you think it's not right, I think they've earned our trust in that fact to let them perfect it before they give it to us. So that's my thoughts on that.
I think they're trying to be too perfect, though. I think it goes to perfect to a certain extent. I feel like they're trying to get everything right to please everybody.
But can you
that's what? Yeah, I mean, I can't be mad at them, but at the same thing, that goes back to the obligation that they had with the monthly update. Remember we was talking about that, how they because they didn't have to make a monthly update in June. And I feel like they're just they're not trying to get cyberpunked. I think that's really what they're trying, that what it boils down to. I think they're not trying to give up people's expectations of the game. But like Juice, they're real high. very high. So I feel like people they just trying to meet up to those expectations, but we all trust in them. Listen, ESBC, if you listen, you just heard everybody here. We trust in y'all, bro. Listen, drop the early access, please. Listen, please do. Listen, hold on.
Like me,
I'm gonna get on both of these.
But yeah, like for me, I wasn't like upset about. I wasn't upset about when they said they had to cancel the beta or whatever like that, because I understand the shit. I understand, like Pi was saying, what type of ambition is behind this game. You know what I'm saying? Like what they trying to do with this shit is like they really trying to get it perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that could be to a fault, but I didn't care about it, man. I just want them to get this game done the right way. That's all I care about, is them getting this game the way we've been begging and praying all these. You don't know. Listen, I'm an older head, so I've been waiting a long time for this shit. You know? Yeah. I need them to take care of this with fucking baby hands. All right, and make sure that we get the game that we trying to get.
The worst part is I be scrolling through comments and you see people still like Fight Night Champion is a better game. Nigga, what?
I hate people.
Like, bro, they it's like people hold on to Fight Night Champion as if it was just this perfect game when Fight Night Champion has so many flaws, bro.
Fight Night Champion, not even the
like it's more of just the memories of back then. That's what I think it really is the memories that brings back when you was playing Fight Night Champions.
Yeah,
because at that time you didn't think there could be anything better.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. And this is the best shit. Right, so we can't even sit here and act like we ain't love that fucking game neither. You know what I'm saying? But that allowed us to see all of the holes in it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it always left us craving more. Like, damn, if Fight Night just had this in it, man, this shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? You were saying
exactly.
Right. So, speaking of Fight Night, last thing that we're gonna talk about as far as ESBC, the swing or like the head movement or whatever. I kind of really want. Yeah, I really, because I know a lot of y'all have some grievances with that, so I want to get into that. All right, the head movement was clean. It was clean. I'm not gonna say in cap. It was clean, but I don't want to. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna let y'all go. What y'all think?
I'm probably gonna say what you was gonna say as far as people being able to bobblehead.
There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I didn't want to say it,
sir.
Now, the question is, how is tracking going to be? Because we know with UFC 4, when they bobblehead, the tracking just gets thrown all the way off. So they really gonna have to get on that tracking, because I promise it's going to be people from EA Sports UFC 4 community to get on that game and think that they're just going to do that and evade punches. And the thing is, on UFC 4, they can block this. So basically, they block their body and then just throw their head around. And you can't hit their head. So if someone is bobbleheading like that, they have to get it down to if you get cracked, you get cracked. And it doesn't have to be a flash KO, but your fighter's obviously going to feel that strike, especially if you lean into it. Mm-hmm. But the tracking is one of the biggest things, in my opinion, that has to be worked out with as far as the head movement.
That's what everybody. Damn, Pride just said what everybody was thinking about the head movement. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was what I was thinking.
And to go on what Pride was saying on that too is because playing Fight Night, but this goes along with you saying too, Jay, about people loving Fight Night. And this is one of the biggest problems that was in Fight Night Champion, in my opinion. You got people leaning straight, hunched over. They can eat like 15, 16 uppercuts straight to their head. No penalty. They could be swaying left and right, back and forth. You hit them with a hook while they're swaying to the right. No penalty. They could just keep swaying back and forth. But ESBC did mention that there's going to be punishment there should be punishment for people who are making the wrong reads. I think that's the biggest thing people want in this game. If you make the wrong read, you need to be severely punished for that. Because that will deter people from just not thinking, just going bobblehead crazy. Because if you start getting punished hard for making bobbling, straight into a punch, straight into a hook, you duck down, you're going straight into an uppercut. You should be punished hard for that, like Pry was saying.
Yeah.
That's why that feint system gonna be so fucking cracking and shit, bro.
Another thing.
So I want to let me do my piece here with this. So with that, like Darhkseid said, they have that in place where like if you slip too early, you still can get hit. And I had this dude comment saying, I box, etc. Like, bro, you want? I hate when people like try to use their past experiences and like, so I'm right. Like, bro, you ain't the only one that's been in the ring, etc. I gained a few pounds, but leave me alone. But like when you and I gave him some fights, bro. It's like, bro, when people get tired, it may not just be the head movement necessarily that's making them tired, but everything you do in the ring, it's taking some energy from you, regardless, right? But when people get tired, their head stops moving, right?
Yeah,
their head stops moving. So. I listed fights for him, and I still haven't got a response back from him because, right, it needs to take some stamina from you. It shouldn't. Maybe I don't know if they have a long term or short term type of stamina. Maybe not long term, but there definitely needs to be some energy taken just so we don't have all of that. I know you can punish it, but still, it's not. That's taken away from that sim.
Because I want to see how this works. Because in Fight Night, if you had low stam, but you rock somebody and got like that energy boost, your stam bar is full and it's blinking. I really hope with the heart rate thing, I hope it's not like that.
I'm ready to see how that plays.
If you're low on stam and you got somebody rocked, that's the energy you have. You shouldn't be able to all of a sudden now you gotta you eat spinach like Popeye. Now all of a sudden you're strong and big and now you can, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like when somebody is hurt and like they have somebody hurt and their stam, their cardio is like they drained. They not rushing in just throwing wild shots. You don't see that. They slowly picking these shots. They trying to get them out of there. Like Charlo. I wouldn't say Charlo was hurt. I mean, I wouldn't say he was tired per se. But I mean, it's a 12-round fight. It's continuously going. He was trying to get Castaño out of there, but it really wasn't. I don't want to say this.
That boy got a chin. Stop
was
it.
Good enough, but
yeah, he got that chin.
Him trying to get it out of there, but he didn't have like the energy to like really get him out of there how he wanted to. That makes sense. I hope that's not.
No, that makes sense. And with that, I haven't spoke on it yet. I'm ready to see how that heart rate plays out. That's all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And last thing as far as that is the counter windows. How are they gonna go about how long the counter window? Like UFC 2, you hit a parry, you can hit them with a quarter piece.
We talk,
right?
We talking about
so I wonder how that is going to be played out. Also, one more thing is, how do y'all feel about that? I don't know if y'all talked about it before, but when you get hit, it's so many like flashes on the screen and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness! It's like that bright white light that's on the screen every time. I think like how UFC 4, you have the option to turn that shit off. You should have the option to turn that off. I don't want that on my screen.
I think you're gonna have that option to turn that shit off.
I don't want that shit.
Yeah, I think aimbot actually said there is going to be an option to turn that off. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't want like any gimmicks with that. And then also, since we're talking about the rock state. Yeah, people get rocked, right? But they're not like Arthur looked drunk when he was rocked. Like he literally looked intoxicated, just falling over. I want to see something different. I want to see somebody's legs kind of buckle or them kind of just stiffen up or something like that. I don't want they're just old.
Like how Devin Haney, when Devin Haney fought Linares at the end of what round was 10th, 11th, one of those rounds.
I think that was like the 10th round.
It
might have been earlier. Yeah, it might have been earlier than that.
His legs was buckling. He wasn't completely out of it, but he was hurt. And that should be in the game. Your legs should buckle. It should give you some sort of indication that, okay, my opponent he's hurt. And that goes back to making reads, like reading your opponent, seeing the tendencies and things like that. So. I pretty much said everything I had to say. Y'all have anything?
Yeah. On that one.
Hold on, one question. Yeah. So with comparison to UFC 4, so in UFC 4, you hit Division 15, you can no longer see your opponent's HUD. Now, I personally dislike that strongly because the game doesn't tell you like physically or not too much with body indications that's hurting on them. So do y'all think with ESBC should you be able to see your opponent's HUD, or like you can see it in some matches, and then if you go to ranked, you can't see their HUD?
That's a good question. I really do feel like you should be able to see your opponent's HUD
because like their eye,
the eye swollen. But how would you do it if their body's hurt? You see what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You'll know.
Well,
from the reaction of getting hit with fire.
Right.
Yeah. So they're
of a than your usual eating a body shot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I think. Yeah.
So pretty much the visual there has to be visual signs for us to be able to tell, right? It doesn't matter. You can be the toughest motherfucker. If you get hit in the liver, your natural reaction is going to be to drop your right hand and kind of curl up. If they have that in the game, and like I said, some other visual keys, I don't think we need a hub. If they don't, yeah, we would need a hub, right?
Still feel like we need a HUD to a certain extent.
I think it should be just like how he said, like once you get into a certain level, then it goes away. You know what I'm saying? It's no HUD, but through certain ranked levels, you get to see it.
Yeah.
But
should you be able to see your opponent's stamina though? All right, so because this is what I'm thinking. I think you should be able to see your opponent's stamina, but not necessarily the damage. I feel like that's fair.
But see, in my opinion, you should be able to see their stamina based off their animations of how their punches are coming out. If they're still coming out crispy and clean, you can see, okay, he still got some gas. But once you get like a certain, like maybe it's like they maybe change animations every 25%. Like, okay, you can tell his punches are getting a little fatigued. Then they 50%. Okay, you can see these punches are about halfway punches. And then once he gets at 25%, now you can see the obvious physical fatigue of the fighter, whether that's head movement, you know what I'm saying, or footwork, or even the punches.
That's a good point.
Categories across the board.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the rating thing. See, we don't know what's upgradable and what's not upgradable. But then I don't know. See,
you're talking about career though. That's career.
That's for career. That's for career. But I'm feeling like I don't know. They're probably gonna do like you're able to like upgrade your character through ranked. Like, say for instance, I'm fighting with Arturo Gatti. I'm able to upgrade him through a rank process or something like that. Like the fighter that you like to fight with, you're able to upgrade him. Upgrade his stats a little bit more. I'm just
I personally don't like that.
No.
Yeah, I was say they probably wouldn't have that for rank because it will just mess up the balancing. What would be the point of the stats of the fighters at that point if you can somebody that can just upgrade any fighter, it just mess up the balancing.
I don't know if he's talking about career or what. Like, because obviously in rank, no.
Because I saw like that you're able to upgrade, left hand speed and right hand. I'm just wondering if those same stats for the career is going to be on the fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see a switch stance. I didn't see, a stamina stat, things like that. So is that going to be the same for regular fighters?
I'm just going to assume if you pick up a Turo Gotti and start a career mode, you starting.
No, I'm not saying I should be able to upgrade my player. I'm just saying you saw how they had like the bar for like body resistance and chin resistance and like the certain categories essentially. You get what I'm saying? Like, where's the switch stance category? Where's the stam category? You get what I'm saying?
What'd you say, stamina? Boy, we.
I can't pronounce that word. But you get what the fuck I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I got one more thing I want to add to what we were just talking about too with the animations. What Pry was saying. I think that if we want it to really be simulation, I think no HUD would be a good way to go if they do like what Pry was saying, where you can see visually, like if you're going through the first couple of ranks, but when you still have the HUD, you should be having to pay attention to the body animation, the animations of the fighters you're fighting. Because in real life and simulation boxing, some fighters are better at noticing when people are hurt than others. Some fighters won't be able to tell if somebody's hurt. Other fighters who see that, they could tell when a punch hurts you, and they'll go after you after that. But other fighters, when they hurt you, they won't be able to tell. They'll just keep boxing like normal, and you'll hear like the announcer saying like, "Wow, he didn't notice I hurt him, and he's not even pushing forward." But I think that's a good thing. If we wanted to keep it sim, as you progress through the ranks, when you still have the HUD, you should be able to be thinking and looking at the fighter like, okay, once they start slowing down a bit, I can kind of see they're falling off a bit here, so maybe I can start pressing them a little bit more.
I like that. Yep. Good way to look at it.
Darhkseid, look at him, Scholar Darhkseid. You know what I'm saying? But any thoughts, questions, concerns for ESBC? Because listen, ESBC, I know y'all watching. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was talking a whole lot of. Hold on, let me talk. I don't want to put ESBC on blast, but their YouTube channel was in my chat. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury got revealed. They like, when we do it big. I'm like, y'all talking shit.
Who was that? I know that wasn't Ash. I don't know who was that. That was probably Assad. That was probably Assad. Who talking like that? Who talking spicy?
I know y'all watching, but we don't want to keep y'all too long. You know what I'm saying? Missing our UK bruv. You know what I'm saying? UK mate.
Pressy out there.
TMA. Pressy TMA.
Smelling the roses.
Come on, man.
I'm not shouting you out, Pressy. You need to respond to me on Twitter, dog. I'll be trying to show you love, bro.
I want to say finally, it's a pleasure to actually see Pride actually come through. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. We've been waiting for you to come through.
Is that sincere or what?
Nigga, always.
You know what I'm saying? Pulling up. You know what I'm saying? In the absence of our man, TMA.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you guys, man. Real talk.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all already know how I feel, man. I appreciate everybody for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I ate that nasty ass hot sauce today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still feeling some type of way.
I didn't even get to see it,
bro. I'm never doing that again. Never. Listen, low sub count and everybody fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? That means something to me. Listen, I might shed a glory tear. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to shed no tears, but try not to cry. I'm not crying for real, but appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Look, it mean a lot. Like I said, Juice, Dark, my guy died. You know, obviously, Mr. Big YouTuber. Mr. Pride. You know what I'm saying? For fucking with us, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I got to say, man.
We out, I guess. Bye. Oh, wait. Pride and Darhkseid didn't. My bad. I'm not good at this because I like to talk about just anything and everything. So I'm out. King Juice. I'm signing out. I'm gonna let everybody else do their thing.
Nah, bro, what I'm saying, I appreciate y'all boys. I need to do this more, but man, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I be
yeah, you be out.
I be sleep, bro. And my sleep schedule is so messed up. Like I go to sleep 7 at night till like 12 in the morning. Yeah, I'm all messed up and I stay up.
Yeah, you up at trap hours.
You really do be. You do.
Nah, for real. So yeah, I need to do this more. Hopefully I can be in the next one. I'm pretty sure I will. I'll try to be. If not, y'all know why, bro.
All right, special guest.
Dark, you ain't got nothing to say, bro?
Yes, I got something to say, bro. It's been real fun chatting up with you guys, for real, though. This is fun. This is fun being on the panel, talking about the game, man. I mean, I think they need this, really. They don't have to go to each individual one of our videos. We get to all talk in real time about, the things that we have about the game, the concerns, what we like, what we don't like. Because, they need people who aren't just, the yes men, you know what I'm saying? They need people who are going to call out when they see something that they don't like. They're going to say what they don't like. It doesn't have to be, it's not negative. It's just constructive criticism, They need that if they're going to be successful. They're not going to be successful if everyone just loves everything that they do. Yes, for sure. I think this is a great idea on that.
Listen, I ain't gonna say no names.
We cutting out. We know what you're say.
For real. Well, I ain't fit to say. Damn.
You know what you're say, bro.
It's coming from people's head.